What's going on, everybody? Alain Gonzalez here, and in this video I want to talk about 3 strategies that you can use pretty much right away if you want to start bringing up a lagging muscle group. All right, so if you have a muscle group that is visibly weaker and you want to focus on bringing it up, then this video is for you. All right, so without further ado, let's jump right in. The first strategy is prioritization. Okay, make that muscle group a priority. Here's what I mean. All right, most guys have visibly strong or well-developed front delts, right? From all the pushing and pressing we do, the front delts are usually overdeveloped or at least well-developed when compared to, say, for example, the rear delts. Okay, so a guy might say, I want to bring up my rear delts, but then when he goes into the gym for his shoulder training, the first exercise he does is a front delt dominant workout, which doesn't really make any sense. Now, if you are right now focused on just overall size, maybe you're a beginner and you're just focused on gaining as much muscle as possible, that's perfectly fine. But if you are someone who's looking to build a specific muscle group, then it doesn't make sense to train that way. What would make sense is to hit the rear delts first while you're fresh, and then after, maybe focus on your front delt dominant work. It also wouldn't make sense to do your lateral raises before any rear delt work, again, because your focus and priority should be the rear delts if that's the muscle that you in fact want to focus on bringing up. Another example I'll give you is, say you want to bring up your shoulders, your shoulders in general, okay? And say your chest is already pretty well developed, but you're on a push-pull workout where your push workout focuses on chest and shoulders, right? It doesn't make sense for you to do your chest work first. Instead, you should be doing your shoulder work first and then following it up with your chest training, because as long as you're training your chest, right, with a decent intensity, you're going to be able to maintain the muscle that you've built, even if, you know, your bench press decreases slightly, right? And so if the main focus is to bring up the shoulders to better match the chest in terms of development, then it would make sense to start off with your shoulder work rather than doing your shoulder work after you've done your chest training. Number 2 is keep adaptive proclivity high, right? If we are, say for example, focusing on building our legs and we've been doing squats for the last 6 months, what's going to happen is that the training develops a staleness where even if you are overloading the muscle by getting stronger or adding volume, you're not going to build as much muscle as possible, right? Due to neuromuscular adaptations, we're a little bit more efficient in that movement, and so the adaptations we get from that lift, even when we are progressing, aren't maximal in terms of hypertrophy. Okay, so what I would recommend is switching up the main focus of your leg training to a different variation. All right, so an overloading variant, not just another variation of a leg exercise, right? So instead of doing the squat, maybe you'll do a leg press for the next, I don't know, 2 or 3 months. And then over time of not really focusing on the squat, right, that adaptive proclivity rebuilds, and when you introduce the squat again, you are going to be training a relatively fresh movement, okay? And so the adaptations you make will be better for muscle growth. And then number 3, increase the volume, okay? Say for example, right now you're training your chest on, Monday. You are doing, 4 sets of bench press followed by 2 sets of dumbbell flies. And then again Thursday, maybe you're doing another 4 sets on the bench press. Okay, what I would recommend is increase the volume by adding more sets. So maybe on Monday you'll do 5 sets of bench press and then 3 sets of your flies. And then on Thursday you do 5 sets of bench press instead of 4. Okay, this is going to automatically increase the total weekly volume, adding more size. Okay, now if you're already doing a pretty good amount of volume during each training session, say for example you're doing 5 sets of bench on Monday and then another 5 sets of bench on Thursday, it might not make sense to do 6 sets. So maybe what you'll do is on Saturday you'll add an extra 3 sets of a less strenuous and taxing exercise like flies, and maybe do that for higher reps. That way you're still stimulating growth, right? You're overloading the chest because you're adding volume, but also you are not taxing yourself and hindering your ability to get stronger on the bench press. All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. Just 3 very simple tips that you can start implementing right away if you want to bring up any muscle group. If you have any questions regarding to this or regarding this topic, please leave them in the comment section below. All right, if you haven't already, make sure to grab my arm training program. It's completely free. The link will be below. Just go there, put your name and your email address, and you'll get instant access to that. And matter of fact, I'm also going to add links to my shoulder training DVD and my chest training DVD, and these are all free. Just go to the link below, put your name and your email address, and you will get instant access to all the videos. All right, so don't forget to subscribe. Make sure to like the video if you found it helpful, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.